Hi, this is Santhosh, Varsajan, Manager Oracle Alliance and Relationship at Atlas Systems. I'm going to be presenting about a couple of things out here. Comprehensive, proactive approach of how to plan your project on the whole. While Jim talked about the process of database upgrade as a plan, I'm going to talk about the project on total, how you could proactively look at the next future, 3 years or maybe 5 years down the line, how your environment could be, and what are the things that you want there to be. A lot of customers do like that because it's not just a project where you're going to move from one version of database to another database, but it's an opportunity to re-architect so that for the next 5 years, your environment is going to address all the opportunities and challenges which are going to come at every single point of time, and that's going to be eliminated by what you're going to re-architect right now, right today. And that's what we believe in Atlas Systems in terms of looking at the next 5 years and you know measuring the success of the database upgrade project by totally looking at all the different ways and means to upgrade the database and which will address the future needs. So what are the proactive measures could look like? There are various different products that you could incorporate right now while you're doing the upgrade, and various different things that you could achieve from our standpoint while you're looking at the project on total. So just for the upgrade process, real application cluster could be really useful if you're looking at a zero downtime rolling upgrade, and real application testing is another product which is really good for probably while you're looking at multiple different upgrades, which has to be seamless and foolproof in terms of the way by which it is going to be executed. Real application testing would be really good, but those are expensive products. You need to be very thoughtful about whether you require that, because if you're doing multiple upgrades every month on month, then this product will be really helpful. And Golden Gate is another tool which Oracle recommends highly for zero downtime. But all these products have their own pros and cons. It's all of them are great products, but it is specific to a specific customer need and a situation. And we need to understand that use case, whether you're actually a fit for that or not, and decide meticulously whether you have to go for that product or not. And that's what we help our customers to decide. We estimate the data growth. We look at whether hardware has to be refreshed. We also look at whether other Oracle products like Oracle Database Appliance, EDLRA, Oracle Cloud, all of that actually makes sense for the customer or not. And we do assessment and critically analyze, various different factors which goes into deciding for a product. And we have, for one of the California-based financial services organization, we said database appliance is not a fit for them, and we recommended, an x86 box, with which they were able to get done what they wanted to accomplish. And definitely, we will be thoughtful about the investment that you're going to make, and we will protect you from any wrong investments or wrong decisions that would probably get into your way. So the other things that people look at is from moving from Red Hat Linux to Oracle Linux, and that's pretty straightforward because your SRs will be more directed towards Oracle rather than having two different vendors. Linux is going to be one and the same, so it always makes sense for you to move your Linux from Red Hat to Oracle, save cost over there, as well as take advantage of the one-stop shop thing while you go to Oracle for all your SRs. And that's one of the customer mentioned that I use Oracle Linux because I don't want to go Oracle to point me out saying that it's a Red Hat Linux problem, so you have to go back to Red Hat and not to Oracle. So now being said that both the Linux as well as the database is part of Oracle, they have to manage, and that way customers' hassles are taken care of. Double check on our license cost, and definitely we can also help you on that front to make sure that your project is planned in such a way. The other things that you have to definitely look at is the kind of downtime that you're looking at. Some of the customers I've seen look at a zero downtime upgrade, 3 to 4 hours of band window. Some of them have 2 days to do the upgrade. Some of them do it during the night. So priorities do change. The application mission criticalness actually plays a very important factor, and you have to factor in that. The data growth that you're going to have for the specific application on the database has to also be taken into consideration while you are going to change some of the things in the architecture. Resource bandwidth and data growth is kind of complementary in nature, while some of the customers look at Oracle Database Appliance, but there are other factors too. If you are looking at Oracle Database Appliance, I will let you know why or in what situation you need not look at Oracle Database Appliance, so that you can make a thoughtful decision if it is going to be a right fit for you. And we'll always there to support you if there is implementation or something of that sort, where you want our help. Time to market again plays a vital factor while you're actually planning your entire project. And we have a 30-point questionnaire which we send out to the customer to assess exactly how their priorities are lined up. And while Jim would suggest his part of how the plan should be for the database upgrade, we will also incorporate other proactive measures that you could take. And we give exactly a plan on what kind of licenses you need to buy. This is another section which we used to do on Oracle licensing best practices. And over here, we talk about what other kind of licenses you need to buy, licenses which need not be in need for your priorities, licenses to be procured to stay compliant, just for a compliance scenario, just to make sure that you are compliant from Oracle licensing policy for your new environment. We'll just go through and verify and certify that, okay, you are compliant according to Oracle licensing policy for all the specific products that you are using. And the product and solution that will help address future business needs. We will also go through that and give you recommendations. Architecture changes that will help address performance and manageability or challenges, which would probably you will get into in the future, will be addressed right now while you're actually planning your project for the database upgrade. And technology investments that's needed or not needed could also be decided. And secondly, we also give you another interesting factor, which is discount scaling methodology. We have given a lot of thought and try to see how we can save cost for the customer. And while we also save cost by asking customer not to buy some of the licenses or tools and solutions, we also try to save for the licenses they're going to buy, how to save additional cost to them, how to give them additional discount. And we have a process in place to get specific discounts for the customers, wherein a lot of customers are able to see 10 to 15% more discount while they're working with us. So it's a comprehensive approach, both to save cost as well as proactively look at the future business needs and address those things. So the project plan and execution from Jim and the licensing best practices and cost negotiation put together will give you a complete plan of how you should take your project forward with all the recommendations in place. So exactly, that's what we did for the energy trading company, where we gave a complete project plan and best practices, asked them not to buy Golden Gate because they were looking at investing on Golden Gate. They were in a decision-making point, and we said that it does not make sense for you. Though you are looking at zero downtime upgrade, there is a way to get that done without Golden Gate. So don't invest on that technology. It was our recommendation, and we saved around 140K in terms of license cost for them. And also for the license that they were about to purchase, we gave them additional 10% discount through our methodology and helped them save more on the licensing front too. So apart from that, we are also suggesting a lot of architecture changes which will help them to address future business needs and challenges which has to be addressed. So reach out to us, have a one-on-one session. That will be more helpful and very insightful for specific your business needs. We will go through the 30-point questionnaire with you, understand your priorities from various perspectives, and help you with a plan which would be specific to your business needs and priorities. And yes, here's my contact information. I'm Santhosh from Atlas Systems. My number is out there. Let me know if you have any questions I'll be absolutely happy to answer those things. And after this, we will have the Oracle presentation on the tools and technology, which would complement Oracle Database 12c. And after that, we'll have a Q&A session too. Thank you.